Hi everyone, good evening. Hope you all are doing good. Welcome to the third session of in the initial, you know, three sessions that we have
Good evening,
committed that we
Nishant.
will be sharing. Good evening, Satish.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hey
Happy
Nishant,
Friday to everyone.
good evening.
Happy Friday. Great.
Good
All
evening,
excited?
Suresh. Good evening, Nishan.
Hello. Hi, Suraj. Good evening.
Good evening, Nishant.
Good evening, Sarda.
Good evening, Shant, Sudesh.
Hello. Good evening. Let me quickly
Good
share
evening,
my
guys.
screen. We'll get started.
Nishant, you're the host.
Thank you, Sudesh. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes,
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is how I start. I'll take initial 5 minutes to take your queries. I might not, if it is a quick one, I'll answer you, I mean, then and there itself. If it might take longer time, then I'll take that query at the end. Okay, but I'll record all of your queries in the starting. So let me know if you have any query from the previous two sessions. First, about what is the roles and responsibilities of a PA. Then what about project lifecycle? Like what are the phases, and then how to execute a project? Any query on these two topics from anyone?
Hey Nishant, this is Nirmala. I have a question. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, scope of the project is like what can be enhanced in the next iteration. Is that what it is?
Scope, okay. Scope consists of uh, what can be enhanced. That is one type of project. That is called enhancements. We're taking the enhancements. The, uh,
Mhm.
the, the, the core project is implementation. As in, you are building something from scratch. When something is
Okay.
already built, then you can enhance it. So, one type of project is implementation.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back here. Implementation from scratch. Then, when something is built already, then you can enhance it.
Enhance
Other
it.
could be that whatever you have built might require some, fix, or some portion is not working, or you will have to change it. That is called project support and maintenance. Then
Mm-hmm.
upgradation is whenever you are moving to a new version. Every
Mm.
software needs a new version with time. So I'll talk
Okay.
about it later on when we'll start
Mm.
service now. How do we move to new version? Then there
Okay.
is migration. Migration is whenever I'm moving my data from one tool to another tool.
Mm-hmm.
It means I am changing the tool, but my data remains same. That is migration.
Okay. So
Okay.
my question is about the scope of the project.
Mhm.
So
Mhm,
all
mhm,
you're saying?
mhm. Sorry, can you come again?
No, no. My question is, so these
Mhm.
implementation, enhancement, project support, everything falls under the scope?
Right, this is type of project, and under that you will have scope. Scope is like, suppose if it is implementation, the scope could be that I want to implement ITSM. In ITSM, I want to implement what all applications, like there can be incident, change, problem. Similarly, it can be for HRST. That is one thing, implementation. If it is the type of project is enhancement, then the scope would be that I want to improve incident management. I want to change something there. I want to add something there. That is enhancement. We'll talk about it when we'll reach
Okay.
there. What is
Hmm.
enhancement? How to change it? Because right now we have not opened service now. Once I'll show you
Mm.
service now, you will have your own practice. You will have your instance,
Hmm.
will have
Hmm.
your account to log in and see. Then you will understand what is enhancement, what is
Okay. Yeah,
implement.
because I'm not
Right?
very clear about scope of the project till
No,
now.
no,
That's the reason I asked the question.
that will
Okay, it will be
soon
covered
will
later.
cover.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right, right. For now,
Okay,
just
thank
think
you,
from
Nisha.
BA point of view.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then we'll come to the ServiceNow, like how ServiceNow works.
Okay. Thanks, Nishan.
You're welcome. Any other queries from anyone? I can take one more and then I'll start. Okay, I'll take silence as no, but I understand right now you might not have any query because we have not started ServiceNow. We are only discussing as a BA what all you will do, right? So, see, we started with BA roles and responsibilities. We understood who is a BA, what BA will be doing. Second, we went to a project because whatever roles and responsibilities of a BA are, those are applicable only to a project. Then we understood what could be the different phases of a project, right? Phase 1, phase 2, pardon my spellings. Maybe here requirement gathering, then there is designing, then what BA would be doing in different phases, right? Then we also understood what could be the execution type. Like project can be executed in waterfall or agile scrum, right? Since most of the companies are using agile scrum, so we looked at what could be the different um, meetings or ceremonies of agile. How to write, or not how, but what is user story in agile, right? We have seen sprint, all product backlog, sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint review, sprint retrospective, right? What is product increment? I will provide you all of this information later on so that you're prepared for interview as well. Then now the next part is, we have covered this. I'll put it into one color. Then we looked at project. And now very important part is, we have understood about BA. We have understood about what BA will be doing in a project. Now very important part is stakeholders. Every project, whether it's IT, non-IT, or any other, it is incomplete without stakeholders. First, you need to understand what is a stakeholder and what all stakeholders would be there, types of stakeholders, and what is it that you can gain from them, what is it that you can achieve, or you can get your queries done, right? So today we are going to cover stakeholders and how to gather requirements from them, because your first phase is all about gathering the requirements. I'll quickly go to the screen. Okay, before that, let's make it a little interactive. Anyone knows like what is a stakeholder? Any definition or anything if you know about what is a stakeholder?
Who were involved in the project, maybe the client side or the vendor side, developers, all are stakeholders.
Great.
Whoever
you.
is affected with the project.
Correct, correct. Both of you are correct. Either who is
क्या
involved
कर
into
रही
a
है मेरी
project.
बेटी कहाँ है
Let's answer only specific to our class. Okay. So anyone who is affected directly or indirectly by a project, or anyone who is involved directly or indirectly into a project, is a stakeholder. Now, a stakeholder could be, see, this is one way I have put in. There could be many, there could be other ways also that you can define. And as you clearly mentioned, then there is a client side and then there is a vendor side. So internal is someone who is a process owner, managers, IT teams, right? If I talk about, see, uh, This is one type. This is completely counterpart of it. This I will call implementation team. This is one set of stakeholders wherein I will have BA, PM, dev, architect, and testers on a very high level, right? On the same side, the counterpart. Here also, I'll have someone who is going to help me with the requirements. So there could be um, a director, then there will be SMEs, there will be someone who will be an architect, right? And even they might have a BA. Not necessarily in all of the scenarios, but it might or may not have BA. This BA may not be the ServiceNow BA. This BA would be the overall BA of their project, right? Who knows about what are the different technologies apart from ServiceNow, like it can be Salesforce, Workday, and all, and how they're integrated. They can have either BA or PO. PO is a product owner, right? This is one set. Then there is one more set that is known as who are the users who are using that product, right? They're usually from the delivery team who are delivering that product, right? Now, since this is one set, this is another set, this is implementation team. Now there will be one more type, like whenever understand. Suppose the company is for uh, networking device or the scope is for network. Now in the network there would be devices, like it can be for mobile device, switches, routers, Wi-Fi, LAN, WAN, right? All of those products would be used by someone, so these would be your users. Now, whenever there is any problem, like suppose Wi-Fi is not working, right? So there will be a team who would be supporting, like who will check and see whether what is the reason Wi-Fi is not working. When they found the reason, they will update it in the incident. What is that incident? Incident is part of ServiceNow, ITSM. Now, who is configured ITSM? This technical team, but who is actually supporting on those services? There will be a delivery team, or you can say service vendor. So that becomes my another set of stakeholders. Now all of them are stakeholders. Then I can call it maybe a sponsor or leadership team, which is there on both sides, here as well and on the vendor side as well. These are nothing but on the very high level, they will take decision whether we want ServiceNow, what tools we want in ServiceNow, what product will work on, what is my way forward, what is it I'm looking for next 6 months. That's how they will work. And here also they will take high level decision. So this could be your different type of stakeholders. Vendor side, this is implementation team. They are only specific to ServiceNow. They will come and implement ServiceNow, and later on, if something is required regarding like fix ServiceNow, something is not working, then this is one set. Another set is who will help them give the requirements, right? Third set is who is actually user. Suppose if I talk about this network only, I can call it different device like Wi-Fi is there, LAN is there, WAN is there. Who is actually using it? These people, right? Now these people might face some issue. Maybe LAN is not working. They will raise an incident. That incident will be resolved by this team who is providing support. Now tell me, any question in understanding the basics of stakeholders? This is standard you will see in most of the services that you will see. The only change would be that here the scope of service is related to network. Tomorrow it can be other services. Maybe the client is from banking sector, then it can be related to service. It can be related to banking account, your incoming uh, uh, payments, right? If you face any issue, you would be the user. You will.
Nishant, so the overall concept is very clear as to what are the kind of people who will be a part of the stakeholder team. But as you're
Mhm.
mentioning client and vendor, is it always the same format, or it can also be the entire team is in-house? Maybe they're not outsourcing or asking anybody to do the job for them. Or is the BA only a part of the vendor team or the service now BA, sorry.
Okay, that's a wonderful question. And I'll tell you, this is one set wherein we have client and vendor are different companies, right? You are right. Even I can have a in-house team, right? In-house team as in I know that I will what I want. So I'll hire the stakeholders directly into my company instead of outsourcing it. So this is the model wherein you are outsourcing your work, right? This is a model where typically you do not have much information about service. Now you have slight information, but not uh, implementation. Speciality that you might not be able to implement it, or you do not have that capability. If you think you have the capability, some companies might do it in-house. Even that case also, not vendor, in that case, you will have, instead of vendor, you will have a team. There also you need a BA, you need a PM, you need developer, architect, testers. Right. Even then also, in-house also, you will have a team of implementation. You will have a team who will provide services. You will have a team who would be using. This is not on the client side. This is basically out there into the world. Now, users can be anyone, whoever is taking the services. For example, you are taking Wi-Fi service. Now it depends on what region you are and what all service provider you are opting. This is your service provider. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. I just wanted to basically understand if the scope is both sides because most of the time you've given examples of client and vendor, but now I understand the perspective. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for asking that question.
Hey Nishan,
Okay. Yes. Yes, Suraj.
I have a question. So, what's the difference between a vendor and a service vendor?
Vendor and a service vendor. Okay. Wait. These are same only. The only thing I'm saying is, see, understand. Uh, Even this can be a sep. Now it is up to the client. Suppose I am a client. This is just name I've given, but I'll call it vendor 1 and vendor 2. There are two types of services as a client I'm opting. One is that implement ServiceNow, right? After ServiceNow is implemented, I want someone who can provide services related to scope. Now, what is my scope? Scope is networking. Now, understand, if I have an issue in maybe I'll call it Wi-Fi, like Wi-Fi is not working. So what I'll do, I have a user. User will go to ServiceNow and user will raise a ticket. But who has implemented ServiceNow? This is one vendor, right? They have implemented ServiceNow and incident you can raise it. So user went to the portal and raised a ticket incident. Now who is actually going to work on it? The incident is my Wi-Fi is not working. Now ServiceNow team will not have that capability. They will need a set of people who are specialized in network services. So they will pick that issue and they will resolve it. Now here also it depends on client whether they need separate vendors for these two services or they can give it to the same vendor.
Got it. So, basically, The vendor and the service vendor are just two different vendors providing services to client.
Right. It can be two or it can be same as well,
Maybe
but
one or maybe more.
right, right. It totally depends on the client. Client might have their strategy because maybe
Got it.
they want,
Thank you.
if they have different vendors, they might have, they can do a check, they can do audits. So it's all part of, or it can entirely be in-house.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay. So really appreciate Suraj. And before that, I think who asked this question? I'm really sorry.
It was Tushar.
Tushar, thank you for asking this question. See, you have to be, I can answer all of your queries, but you have to be vocal and be little interactive. More questions you will ask, I'll try to answer. And even, I'm as I mentioned that in the starting of my session, initial 5-10 minutes, I'll give you to ask me queries. I might not answer all the queries in the starting, but definitely at the end, I'll answer your queries. So more you ask, better clarity you will get. Okay, so we are clear on the stakeholders front. Now let's understand how do you wait, right? Types of stakeholders. Like there is primary stakeholder. I mean, this is same only, but why I'm saying this is a type. This is a type wherein, see here, now understand this is on the behavior side, right? One type of stakeholder is someone who will help you with the requirements, who will help you with the uh, process, who will tell you how the product will look like. Thus, other stakeholders who is not directly connected to you, but they will be indirect contributors. Like there is a finance team who will help you with the budget. Not you, but they will be funding you. Like who is working, then your salary, your sitting cost, all the services that you're using is coming from here. There is a security team, there is a reporting team, there is a team who is providing facilities, right? Now, third type of stakeholder is a stakeholder. First, stakeholders is helping you. Then there are stakeholders which are known as tough stakeholders. I think this word is not right. I'll not call it negative, but tough stakeholders. They are usually opposing your changes. For example, you are bringing in a process and they are saying that maybe they are adamant on using the previous process only, or they are resistive to the new change, or they are questioning a lot on the new process. So you will face these kind of stakeholders in your project. How to deal with them, we will definitely look at in the upcoming slides. The simple meaning of tough stakeholders is maybe he is not providing you the correct uh, information, or he is not providing you the complete information. Second, whatever you are bringing, he has his own way. That you are suggesting that this is a better way of doing a particular process. He's saying, no, I want to use this process only. So, how to deal with those stakeholders is what we'll see in the upcoming slides. But first, for example, for now, just understand in this set, you will have some stakeholders who are going to help you like anything. There are some stakeholders who might not listen to you, so you will have to find a way to convey to convey your thoughts and to convey the way forward. There will be stakeholders who are not that you will not be directly meeting with them on a daily or even weekly or monthly basis, but they are there at the back end knowing everything what is happening in the project. They're usually on the top, leadership, sponsors, right? Now, as we have understood different stakeholders, let's see how am I going to analyze. So there is a analysis matrix. How to analyze the stakeholders. So what you need to analyze is when you will be having the different meetings. Yesterday we talked about what could be the different meetings. Like there can, in project phases, there can be a kickoff, then there will be workshops, right? So let's understand whenever you are having a kickoff meeting, you need to understand these different powers, like who has influence in the project, who has more interest in the project, who has power, and who is providing you, or like what should be, how the expected behavior should be. You will see when in this stakeholders, whenever you are having a meeting, there will be one set of stakeholders who will not be speaking. Right. There will be one set of stakeholders who would be speaking a lot, but sometimes they might not make sense. One set of stakeholders who has power, usually not set only of one or two stakeholders. Whatever he says is what would be the real deal. That we want this, then we want this particular feature. Then we need to understand there is someone who is providing you the expectations. Like this is what we are expecting. This is what we are expecting. We are expecting this as well. But you need to set the priorities. You need to identify the priorities. I'll come on to that as well, how to define priorities, how to understand what we should do first, what we should do second. But for now, just understand this could be the different types. Let's understand on a very high level whatever you will see. Like if I tell you a client, SME or architect, they have high influence, they have high interest, right? IT support, this is what your support is. Support. They have low influence, but they have high interest because they know how to, what is it that I am using ServiceNow for. So they can tell you that we might require one more field, we might require a change in this process. We do not want it like this way, we want it the other way. Right. So they have a high interest. So you need to keep them informed. And this SME architect, you need to engage closely. Then there is director who has high influence, but he has low interest. Low interest in the sense that he will not bring to the level at low level and would be working with you. He would be just overseeing what has been done. He has some goals, some objectives that he want. So he would be managing, or you will have to manage them periodically, maybe once in 2 months, or once in a month, or maybe twice in a month. Depends on how the cadence is scheduled, how the meeting is scheduled, right? So you will have to identify the interest of all the stakeholders, right? I will come on to this part as well. Probably next week itself, I'll start giving you assignments like about all of these things, whatever we have done so far, like responsibilities, what are your deliverables, what are the phases of a project, what are the stakeholders. You will be creating, I will share, you will have an assignment, you will have a document wherein you will have all of these details. I'll give you one sample, that document, so you can refer to that document. And in that, you will start maintaining all of this information. That will be very helpful for you going into any project. Right. So you need to understand this could be the different influences into a project. Any questions so far?
All good.
Okay. Then next part is, I think some of you would have heard about this, RACI metrics. Let's see, can you give me a reaction, like thumbs up if you have heard about RACI metrics?
No.
No? Okay.
No, Nishant. I don't know
Oh,
about
great.
Resimetric.
Then we are learning something new today. Perfect. So RACI metrics is how am I going to, you can create it on your own, and sometimes even um, your um, client might ask you to create a RACI metrics. RACI metrics is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. All of these stakeholders, there will be one set who is responsible to deliver a work. For example, if I can call out, or I'll give you all of those examples. Then second part is accountable. This person will not be delivering that work, but he will get the work delivered through some person or through some other stakeholder. For example, BA's responsibilities is to create BRD, FRD user stories. Project manager is accountable that BA would be completing this work, or architect or developer would be developing that those requirements, right? Then there is consultant. Consultant means whom am I going to consult? For example, if I just take example of I have gathered the requirement, so I would be consulting it with SME and their product owner or someone from their delivery team that this is what the requirements have been gathered. Then there is informed. Informed is, as I mentioned, the people who are sitting on the top, or maybe the director, or maybe here the project manager. You have gathered the requirement. You will just keep them informed that I have gathered the requirement. Maybe you are doing the communication through email. Sometimes you are scheduling call. You will keep them in optional or in the audience that we have scheduled the call, or this part is done. This is done. This is more like, for example, even you would be having a manager in your team. So whenever you are doing your work, maybe you have 10 action items on you. So there may be 2, 3 action items where you do not have to involve anyone, but then rest of the 7, you are just putting your manager in CC so that he's informed whatever you are doing. Similarly, we have informed in this matrix. Now, let's understand the different stakeholders like client. If the activity is related to requirements, who is the responsibilities of a BA. If I have to develop or configure, responsibility is of developer. Develop something in case, then I'll have developer. If it is a UAT, UAT would be done by client, right? In case of requirement, whom I'm consulting? I'm consulting with a client. Who is the accountable person? It's product owner or project manager. Informed, I'll keep developer informed so that he knows what he would be working on later on. So this is what you need to identify in the first week of your project. You remember here
During the planning?
right, in the planning you are gathering this requirement, because that's how you will understand that which stakeholder is going to help you. Some stakeholder will ask this matrix so that even client is aware who would be responsible for what work, who would be accountable for what work. Right, it helps you as well.
So Nishant,
So
is
if
it
it is not,
possible some
Mhm.
stakeholders can be in various, for example,
Right, it can be. I think I didn't let you finish, but the answer is yes. For example, here in inform, I can keep one more stakeholder. So that is there.
So, Nishan, is
Mhm.
this a standard division of roles and responsibility in Reiki metrics, or this can change?
This can change, but usually if once you understand the different activities of a project, you will get to know like who would be performing what activities. By end of this training, you will have a fair idea if you have to create a RACI matrix for this set. But I think gradually by end of this training, you will also know what is the responsibility of this team. What is the responsibility of what users would be doing, and then what is client doing. So I think by end of this training, you would be able to create a RACI on your own. Even if you are put into a project, you will understand there is an implementation team. Okay, I am here. There would be someone who would be providing services, providing support. I know who are those people. There would be a team who are users. I know who are my users. Someone from the client side, I know who is on the client side.
Nishant, at what stage we create this race matrix?
In the initial stage.
Initials.
We
Okay.
are having a kickoff meeting. When you start having kickoff in the workshops, I think there will be certain expectations set from the client that I need this
Mhm.
since we are starting the project. So they will ask you to create. And in some cases, your project manager, if see it all depends on the interest level of one stakeholders. Sometimes you will see, yesterday we were debating on this topic, right? What is the responsibilities of a PM, PO, BA, Scrum Master? Depends on individuals input, and also the level of curiosity he has into the project. Some project managers might create a recipe for you, but some will tell you that you create it, or the client will set the expectation, so you will have to analyze on the ground. But for me, I'll give you all of the information that is needed, that is expected. So expect whatever you are learning here, whatever you are seeing here, will most probably 95% same what you will see in your project. Now it is up to you and the client what they're asking you to do. You will know how to do it, what is expected, but you will work as per the directions or instructions from the client. And then maybe after 6 months or down the line, once you have a very good hands-on of handling a project, you would be the one who can drive this project end to end. Right now, you are having only a theoretical knowledge. After 6 months, you will have a practical knowledge. So then you can drive everything. Whatever scenarios I'm telling you, you will understand how they fits into different scenarios.
Quick question, Nishant.
Yes,
So,
please.
what is the difference between responsible and accountable? It sounds like two familiar terms, but I would like to know how
Sure.
functionally these two are different.
Okay. So I have Sashwati, and then we'll make, okay, Sudesh. Let's make Sudesh your manager. Okay, Sudesh is your manager, or we'll call him, he is a project manager. And Sashwati is, will make you technical architect. Okay, so project manager Sudesh has went to the client, and then they are having a discussion that you have to work on this. So let's start gathering the technical. Can you do, like, maybe the client is saying this? Okay, let's do one thing. Can you create a technical assessment, or can you do a technical assessment of my environment? Right? Whether I need ITSM or I need HRSD, or what is the maturity of my system. So what now? Understand who is accountable to do this work. Shashwati, what do you think? Who is accountable to do this work? Can you hear me, Shashwati?
The project team?
Project manager. Project manager is accountable that because he has a direct word with the client. Client is saying that you have to do it. Project manager says, okay, I'll do it. But he might not be able to complete technical assessment because this is technical part. So what he will do? He will forward it to Sashwati saying that can you go and do this technical assessment? I will schedule a meeting. I'll set the stakeholders, or let me know what all stakeholders are required in that meeting. I will schedule a meeting. I'll invite those stakeholders. You can ask your question. So here, this person is responsible to complete the assessment, and this person is accountable.
Okay, got
The simple meaning is accountable is this. I am account, for example, oh, simple example. So this is accountable for this training. The responsibility lies with me to come and give you sessions each day. Does that make the difference between these two terms clear?
Got it, Nishant. Got it.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, great.
Nishant, I have one
So,
question.
sure,
So
sure.
this responsible and consulted can be one single person? I mean, is there, or it needs to have like different
Responsible and consulted.
consulted?
As per my knowledge, it cannot be same thing because
It can,
accountability more is
right.
like ownership and responsibility is the real work. So,
No,
Okay.
consulted and
With
responsible.
oh, consulted.
uh
Consulted is
no,
like more of like your from where you are getting the input, right?
right. Understand? No, look at this picture. Suppose I am doing some work. So how can I consult myself?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Consultants basically means
No,
you're
I meant
consulting
to say, see, BA is a
the
responsible,
stakeholders.
say from vendor
Mm-hmm.
side,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be consulted from the client side.
Then the set of activities will be different. Suppose you're saying that I need a consultation of ITSM. Okay. Now analyze. See here also, if you look at it, I have mentioned activity. You're not deciding this RACI matrix based on roles. You're deciding this RACI matrix based on the activities. If it is about requirement gathering, then BA is responsible.
Yeah, I
But if
got
it
it.
is
I got it.
about, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Perfect.
thanks.
Okay, then let's move to the next part, which is important part. That whenever now you have stakeholders, the next thing you will have with stakeholders is conflict. Possible conflicts. What are the conflicts that you can face with stakeholders or customers are that the requirements are ambiguous. They are saying anything that, we want this as well, we want this as well. For example, maybe I have a set of 5 resources who are providing support, like here. Okay. And they're saying that on a monthly basis, we are having 100 tickets. And these 5 resources are working on these 100 tickets, right? So if we do a math, it means, I mean, 20 tickets per person in a month, correct? And 20 ticket means 30 days in a month. Even 30 days, we do not work like every day. It will be 5 days in a month. So it will be 20 days you're working. So it means 1 ticket per day. And this is too much. And if some client is coming and saying that I want to bring in automation, right? So this is one example of ambiguous requirements. Okay, so we can go there. So this is how, a client can come up with some scenarios. This is one way, though this is a very foolish example. Client will never be this fool. He will be very smart, or she will be very smart. But this type of example, not this one, there can be another way, or there can be another examples, right? So client can come up with ambiguous requirements. So this is one conflict. Another conflict is that client is coming up with you that, hey, activity one, can you please do it on priority? Activity T, please do this on priority. Activity 3, this is on priority. 4, 5, 6. So the bottom line is, for customer, everything is on priority. That is another conflict that you can see. Third is unrealistic timelines. That they'll say that I want to implement that, please implement ITSM, and for that you have only 2 months or maybe 1 month. Third is that you are suggesting a better way, an improved process, and client is saying, no, I want to do this way only. Just a moment. Okay. So for client might not be adaptable to new process, right? So what is the solution to these different conflicts? First part is whenever client is sharing any requirement, these are some best practice that I can tell you. Whenever you are having meeting through some tool, like we are having Zoom here, so always use this record button. So you will be recording all of your meetings, especially your workshops and your requirement gathering meetings. So tomorrow you can go back and refer to what client was mentioning. Second, since we have AI tools and all, so you can switch on transcribe, right? Wherein whatever, or maybe scripts. So whatever you're speaking, it is all being recorded and being captured into a document. Third thing is you yourself will be very active to the requirement that they're calling out. Fourth is you will always keep a whiteboard session. Whiteboard session is if the client is saying, hey, this is my requirement. I want this, I want another thing. Then from there, it should go to this point. From this point, it should go to that point. So you can always use a whiteboarding. Now it is up to you how to use a whiteboard. You can use Excel like me, or you can use some other format. Most of the time, your tools will have a whiteboard option. So you can use it. So you can explain or you can understand their requirements through diagrams. That is another way, or I'll call it whiteboarding. Now, the solution to the ambiguous requirement is this, that you will be recording, you will be switching on the scripts, you will be active while they are mentioning, you will be whiteboarding it, and you will be repeating it. Is it what you mean when you're saying that we should follow this process? Is this how you want the process should be? You will take a confirmation. Now, fifth part is whenever meeting is over, you will send a MOM. Do we know what is MOM?
Minutes of
Meeting
meeting.
of minutes of meeting.
Minutes of meeting.
Right. Okay. So you will send minutes of meeting, capturing everything what has been discussed. So this is a best practice as a BA you will be doing. In the minutes of meeting, this is also, you can follow some template. One template which I can give you is, you can mention attendees. You can mention what all you discussed, like points, point by point. Then second, you can mention action item, that who will review what and when. So whenever you're mentioning action item, you will name what is the item, who is the owner, and by which date he has to complete that activity. And always mention if you are going to regroup again, maybe after 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days. That's how you will share MOM. This is one way. You can have a better way. Right now, whenever this about this requirements, always clarify with examples. If they're saying that we want this, ask them that can you share examples, right? You will ask them who is the product owner. Can you help us how the product is being shaped? Document agreements, whether they are agreeing to your requirements, whether they are agreeing to your queries or not agreeing, you will always document them. How? This is your process. Now about misaligned priorities, that if they're saying everything is on priority, then you will have to actually look at the activities, whatever they're saying, and then you will be the judge whether you want to use this as priority one or the other one. Sometimes when you will read it, few of them are not on priority. Second, you will also look at from where is it coming from. You remember we were discussing about power, influence and all. So where is it coming from? Is it coming from that particular stakeholder who is very important? Then you will give priority. Third is about unrealistic timelines. So you will not take a call on the timelines. About timelines, you will have architect and developers. Because in a project as a BA, your responsibility is still requirement gathering and designing. But beyond that, about development and testing belongs to your architect, developers, and testers. So you would want them to take a call. What is the actual effort that will be required? And the efforts are also on the basis of capability of this architect and developer. For example, I have a developer who is just 2 years experienced in ServiceNow. Then I have another developer who is 6 years experienced in ServiceNow. So I can tell you, if I have a set of activity, this person, if it is taking maybe 5 days, I know the other person can do it in 2 or 3 days. Right. So this is how you will do the estimation. Not you. The estimations will come from architect and developers. Once you have defined that how much time will it take, you will inform your project manager that this is the actual timeline and client is expecting something else. So we might have to create a case and present it to the client. Now project manager with the help of BA will present a case, create a case and send it that this is the actual timeline. So this is how the solution is for unrealistic timeline. About change resistance, this you can always bypass by giving them the right process. You can share SOPs, you can create training material, and you can create train the trainers. Train the trainers is, for example, I have 50 users who would be using ServiceNow, right? So I will not be training all of the 50 users. Or maybe these 50 users are sitting across my 3 locations. US, Canada, Europe. Here I have 50, here I have 50, and here I have 20. So what I'll do as a BA, I'll have a meeting with one, I'll find a SPOC, one from US, one from Canada, one from Europe. I will train them. I'll make them enabled to understand how this ServiceNow will work. Now, whenever they have any query from these set of 15, 15, 20, they will not reach out to me, they will reach out to these SPOCs. So in that way, you are avoiding queries from 50 users. You might have queries only from these 3 users. So that is called train the trainers. To work on change resistance, you can share recorded trainings. That how to work on it. Suppose how to open an incident and how to open it, how to work on it, and how to close it. Right. So this is the solution to change resistance. So every problem that you are facing has a way to solve and how to work on it. But very important part here is documentation. Whenever there are disagreements, whenever there are agreements, always document them and keep your managers informed and architect in loop. Is it clear?
Got it, Nishan.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Great. Now the next part is whenever we are talking about requirements, right? That we talked about that the requirements are coming to us. Understand we have First part is business requirements. See, we have been talking about BRDs. But what exactly is a business requirement? Let's forget D. Let's focus on BR, business requirement. What is a business requirement? As I mentioned, business requirement is coming from the business. Though functional requirement is also coming from the business, but let's understand what is business requirement. Now here I am not detailing how ServiceNow will work, like how am I going to open incident, change problem. I am just telling you, I'll give you a scenario, or maybe client will give you a scenario and will tell you why they want to use ServiceNow. What are the goals? What are their objectives? What is the vision? What are their challenges today? And what are their pain points? And now I'll give you a scenario. The scenario is typical scenario I'll give you about IT. That if you have, see, or we all are connected to IT some way or the other way in your company. And if you have any issues, the issue can be related to your password needs a reset, or your laptop screen has suddenly got some issues, or it's stuck, or some other issues. So what is the first thing you will do? You will, in earlier times and right now only, in recent time also, I have seen there will be an admin team, IT admin team. So you will quickly rush to the IT admin team and you will tell them that this is what the problem is. Now understand, if you're working from home, then going to this IT admin team is next to impossible. I mean, on the quick basis, or maybe some other. So what is the alternate? The alternate option is you will call that this is my issue. Other option is, or you might email them, right? So this is a problem. Now you are getting a call, your email, or some other option. But how are you tracking it? You are not able to track it. I'm telling you a business scenario. So you do not have something to track on. Even if you're tracking on Excel, Excel is not reliable, right? I mean, not reliable in the sense that Excel would be on local. Everyone cannot see it. So you need a software that can track things. You need something that can build a flow. That maybe I can have a portal. I will go to the portal and then I will raise a ticket. Someone will pick the ticket and then they will resolve it. But at any point, right from raising the ticket to the point it is resolved, I can see everything, what is happening. And I can take the status. But in this case, it is very difficult for me. I have emailed them. I don't know if I'll get a reply or not. I have called them. If they do not pick my call, then what will happen? Right. So what are you saying? That these are your challenges and pain points. What are your goals? The goal is that you need a software that you can track things. It has a flow. It has some dedicated SLAs, or not SLAs, I'll call. It has a time that within this time, I'll get resolution to my query. I can ask questions real time. I can take updates. Right. So this is what I want. So this is what is captured in a business requirements. I can give you one example. If they're saying that right now, so this is an example where they're not using ServiceNow. The other example could be maybe they're using ServiceNow, but now they're getting a lot of tickets. So the requirement could be, I want to reduce ticket handling time by 20% or the count by 20%. The problem could be, since I'm getting a lot of tickets, in this example, I had only one ticket per person, but the scenario can be reversed. It can be maybe 30 to 40 tickets per person. And maybe if one ticket is taking half an hour, then imagine if you have to resolve 40 tickets, that's too much of the count. So that is my pain point. I do not have bandwidth or I do not have resources. At the same time, I do not want to hire new resources because that is going out of my budget. So I want to reduce this ticket count. So that is my goal. That is my objective, right? So this is what is captured in a business requirement document. So the initial conversation is just about this. Tell me what are your goals? Tell me what is as is, right? After you have or to be. After you have understood these things, then you will move to functional requirement. Functional requirement is actually the requirement you will decide how the system will work. For example, you are creating a system that says that I should have a portal. I should be able to submit a ticket. There I can state my problem. I can define myself, right? And then this requirement should be worked upon by someone. So that is my functional. That is, I'm stating how the system will behave. Now my third requirement is non-functional. Here I have decided that how the system will work. Non-functional is something which is based on performance. That sometimes you will see the system is lagging or the system is getting stuck. Or if you are putting, suppose sometimes it is about attachment. If you put a heavy attachment into a form, the form will break. Or security, that it should not be visible or it should not have unauthorized access. So that is non-functional requirement. So this can also come from the client. Or if you are putting, you would have seen that in Gmail, when you put your credentials, right? You use user ID and then there is password. So password is usually whenever you are entering the password, it is with stars. It never shows you password. So that is non-functional requirement. Right, and it should not be visible. So something like this is part of your non-functional requirement, which is performance, usability, security, or visibility. So these are your requirement types. Now, what are the different? How will you gather these requirements? You will gather these requirements. Just a moment. Okay, so you will gather these requirements. One way is interviews. Interviews are okay. Interviews are nothing but whenever you have a specific requirement from a person, like you want to connect with the product owner, with an SME, then you have one-to-one meeting. Workshops is whenever you are having meeting with multiple from the multiple teams, then you can have workshops. Observation and shadowing is someone is performing a demo on the screen and you are just watching them. What is it that they are doing? You're observing them. Surveys are you will send a set of questions and you will get a response to those questions. Document analysis. Document analysis is you will ask them, can you share your current SOPs? Can you share what all process document you have? Do you have any visual diagrams? Share those documents. So from there also you will get the requirements. Then prototyping. Prototyping is suppose they do not have any of the process, so you will create a process or you will tell them. Like in whiteboarding sessions, you will create a simple prototype. Okay, this is your process. This is step 1, step 2, step 3. Then step 3 you will do this function. Step 4, step 5. So a simple prototype to get you hold of the requirements. That is prototyping. So this is how these different techniques would be there for you to gather information or gather requirement. Okay, last but part about today's classes that you want to understand after having these requirements being gathered, you want to understand what is in scope, what is out of scope. Because you can have lot of requirements, but if you have been given a dedicated time that you will have to deliver it in 2 months or 3 months, so you always want to mention what is in scope, what is out of scope, what we do not want, what we will not be delivering, what we will deliver. Second, whenever you are discussing something, you always want to put in assumptions that I am assuming, for example, the requirement is about login to this Gmail. I am assuming that I should have first of all, I should have account in Gmail, right? So this could be one assumption. Similarly, whenever you are doing this requirement in scope, out of scope, you will have to go with certain assumptions. We'll talk about assumptions more in the upcoming classes. You will be keeping all of your stakeholders aligned. Now you know who all my stakeholders are and how to inform them, that you will get through RACI metrics. Whom should be informed? Fourth part is avoid gold plating. You don't want to serve everything, because if you start serving everything, then you will not be able to finish the real objective within time. So you will have to be on the ground. You need to protect the team from unnecessary features. Because client can come and say that I want AI also, I want automation also, I want that flow also, digital also. But you will have to understand with the given time and with the given resources what can be delivered. Who will help you with this? PM, architect, developers, and testers. You all will have to do it together and you will have to come up with a plan. So this is all about stakeholders and requirements. Before we wrap today's session, let me know if you have any queries. Or before I hand it over to Sudesh.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, about the elicitation techniques. Now, I do see that there are multiple ones. Now, when do we understand which one we have to go for? Because there are a lot of steps. So that it's my assumption that we cannot do all in a project
Correct.
because the timelines would be
Correct.
shorter. So how
Right.
do we determine that?
Good question. We cannot do everything in all the project, but you need to understand few basic things. First, that is due in my next class, like requirement gathering, how to do it. But since you have asked right now, I just wanted to give you these are the techniques. But first, since you asked me right now, so I'll tell you a few things. So workshops is there in all of your project meetings, in every project. Workshop is whenever you have two or three teams. Like I have, suppose I am doing ServiceNow and Jira. I am migrating from Jira to ServiceNow. So in the workshop, I'll have one Jira team, or I'll have multiple stakeholders. Like I need one from the SME, I need one from the product owner. So in this case, you are having workshop. Or if you want to understand that what is happening in the Jira and all, then you need a workshop. Workshop is always required. Then interviews one-on-one is, suppose you are understanding the product vision, or maybe not, let's forget product vision. You are creating a product backlog. Like what all features you want to see in product and everything, then you can have a one-to-one meeting with the product owner. Or at times, there is an SME specific to Jira and you want to have questions related to the process. Nothing, you do not need maybe architect there, you do not need developer, you just want to understand the process. Instead of putting everyone into the call because you only want to have communication with SME, instead of workshop, it's better to have a one-to-one connect. That is where you need one-to-one.
Okay.
Observation and shadowing is something, for example, you want to understand how to open a ticket in Jira, right? This is something someone has to show you, right? So in that case, it's known as observation or shadowing. It means there will be a Jira admin who will share his or her screen and will show you that how I am performing those actions. Now, you as an observer will look at, is he missing some step or is he not following best practice? That is what is known as observation and shadowing. You will take a recording of it and then you can do an assessment that maybe the one feature is missing that I can bring in service now.
Okay.
That is one way of gathering the requirement. And surveys are usually, for example, uh, about surveys are used, not in most of the techniques, but I'll tell you what is the scope of survey. So have you heard of this or not this? I'll give you example. There will be question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then on the answer would be rate. 1 out of 1 on the scale of 1 to 8, rate, is this feature good? Or are you happy with the incident? Or you want a new process?
Or is it
So
like
that is
sample function?
another, right,
Okay.
right. That is another way, right? Usually these surveys are, suppose if you're creating a custom app, in service now you can create a custom app. Now what is you are doing that before releasing it to the prod, you are testing it with UAT testers. And after they have done the testing, you are sharing a survey with them, asking them, can you provide a rating? Like, do you like the app? What all features you liked it? You liked this approval mechanism. You like this feedback mechanism, right? So that is another way of capturing the requirement. It can be after or before the app is created. Like you want to see what is the issue with the previous app? Tell me. So that is another way. Document analysis is, as I mentioned, SOPs, process diagram, visual diagram, whatever they have currently, you will take the requirements and analyze. Prototyping is whatever I am doing right now. I am trying to understand a problem and I am drawing it on this Excel. Is it clear? These techniques?
Yeah, kind of. I just have a follow-up question with one interviews the first point. Now, there
Mm-hmm.
would be multiple stakeholders, right? So there would be technical and
Mm-hmm.
non-technicals. So
Mm-hmm.
when a BA goes through the requirements gathering, do
Mm-hmm.
they also involve taking the requirements from the non-technical person as well? How does that happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, right. It happens. See, um, this is someone who is delivering, who would be delivering. See, this is a new process that I'm setting up. That I'll have a service now, and then the issue would be coming in service now, and a team would be fixing it, right? Or maybe the users. Or if I totally take it to a new example of HRSD, HR people are not technical. I can call it out, right? But HR people can also help you build or can also give you requirement. What is the requirement? The requirement could be when you are onboarding a candidate, what all documents you will need, or or when you're setting up the process, what is the process like on day one you need email account to be active for the employee. Second, there should be a request placed for laptop. Third could be I want a form to be shared with employee asking him to share personal details about banking, about income, about tax, about their address, about insurance, right? So all of see this is now it is specific to HR. Only HR can help you. Not even this director, not architect, PA, PO, or even this vendor. Only
Understood.
HR can help. So you
Got
need
it.
non-tech as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other query from anyone?
Nishant, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. You're audible.
I have a question regarding, like we have discussed, tough stakeholders. So
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about regarding recording of meetings
Mm-hmm.
and the privacy issues, how we deal with that?
Okay. So you always take a go ahead in the starting of the meeting. Dear all the stakeholders, I want to record this meeting. Let me know. Usually, if they are coming onto the call and they're discussing anything, as a PA, I can tell you that you can record everything, but just for the safety, because if you start a project is starting, if you ask for the very first time, they will tell you can record it. After then, you do not need to ask. So recording will not be an issue.
Okay, thank you. Just one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So we have discussed RACI metrics.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like this is more of a structured way. But
Right.
when we talk about tough stakeholders, like
Mm-hmm.
we can, like whatever they are doing,
Mm-hmm.
we can write it down, we can communicate. Is there a other way? Like, is there a metrics like uh, in terms of the constraints or the delay of the projects? How we deal with that, or just
Correct.
communicate with the
No, no,
stakeholders?
no, no. You're right. That is also there that I will be discussing in the upcoming classes. But uh, to that, I can tell you there is a, a project project update on a weekly basis, wherein you will highlight what are the risks, what
Right.
are the dependencies, right? Risks are if we do not get an approval by this in next 2 weeks, then we will not be able to start. If my requirements are not signed off, then I cannot move to the development phase. If we do not get proper access to ServiceNow or other tool, then we will not be able to start. So those are the risk and dependencies. I will share those template with you, how to create it. As I mentioned, there is by end of this BA fundamentals, before that, I will be giving you an assignment or that will be your, I call it BA diary. Okay, it will have everything, right from what is the project scope, what are the different stakeholders, and what they are doing, what are my timelines, what are my requirements. Very high level, you will have everything, and then risk and dependencies as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any other question? If not, then I'll hand it over to Sudhish. Thank you so much for listening to me and being interactive. I think I really liked, and since you asked questions that also help others to know about it. Sudesh, over to you. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Nishant. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
Nishant.
the wonderful session. Nishant, thank you so much. And great questions from everybody and very good engagement. So, guys, I just want to let you know that it's Friday, but there's still a lot of people turned up, which shows that you guys are really interested in this curriculum, and I'm excited about it. I do want to tell you the first phase of this program is we learn how to work as a BA because we are going into a business analyst role in a ServiceNow ecosystem with a specialization. So we will first learn BA for a couple of weeks, and then we go into ServiceNow and we learn different modules, and that goes on for 12 to 13 weeks. The actual training timing is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting next week. We already have 20 plus people registered for this program and many more joining every day. If you're looking to start with us, I recommend you to have a conversation with us. I would say, I'm going to post an email address over here, and I would just want you guys to. Sorry, I just have to correct this. Give me a second here. It's .com, support.edu, at leadtechno.com. Look in the chat box. Just copy this and just type back interested. So this way we know that you're interested and our team can reach out to you and we can provide you more details. It's very important that you need to talk to me because I'm the one who's going to architect the whole plan of helping you transition into this job. So regardless of your geographical locations. So I need to know you guys and check out a plan before we onboard you. So our team will start reaching out to you this weekend. You can expect calls from us from Saturday, Sunday till Monday, and we will be registering. Monday, we are closing the registration by Sunday evening. So you must make a decision to start with us, and we will continue to talk to you and we'll get you started. Okay. Any other questions from you guys before we close the day today? From the new guys, any questions?
I have a question, Sudesh. I see your some banner is telling boot camp. What is the boot camp and what is the actual program? What is the difference
This
between
is
the
a
two?
this is a training program which also can be called as a boot camp. Okay, and that is we just the way we call it because we are taking you in a short span of time. You're going 0 to 100 to prepare for a job. It's not like a regular course where we are learning for months together. Okay, you're this is not like a certification program. We are really getting ready for the job. Okay, that's what this program
Oh,
is all about. Yeah. So you are going in a very short span of time. You are
how
going zero
long?
to 100.
How long you have
Steps.
planned for this short term?
You
The-
are looking at give and take 12 to 13 weeks maximum, right, Nishant?
Okay,
Give or take.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, yes, Sudesh.
Give or
so
Two,
take
two and a
12 to
half
13
months.
weeks we're looking at. Yeah.
and how long will be the BA should be continue and how long the
We
service when
are
the service?
so Nishant, we're looking at 2 weeks, right, initially for
Right,
the
right.
BA.
So two more classes, and then we'll start service now.
Service
Okay,
now. You're
so
going to learn from the BA point of view, but we're going to go into service now.
understand. Okay, thank you.
90% of the interviews will be based on ServiceNow knowledge areas, your projects, and all of those stuff. So we're going to give you a wonderful training. Today, if you, as a consultant, you know ITSM projects, and if you know HRSD projects, how to support and implement, you got yourself a career, you got yourself a job. Okay. Our last guy got job in 3 weeks. We started off in January mid, and we already got a job by Feb, and he's ending joining this his company in end of this February. So job market is really good. So, but what is important is are you skilled enough to crack those interviews? That's what we're going to get you 0 to 100. We're going to train you well. Then we're going to train you well on the mock interviews. You're going to get great projects. We're going to get transferable experience resumes for you and position you for the job markets. Okay. So there's a lot of conversation there. And this is not a blanket approach, even though there are too many people here, but we still handle everybody one-on-one basis to get them ready for the jobs. Okay. Any other questions from anybody?
Sudesh, can you hear me?
Hi, Zisha. Yeah, I can hear you, Zisha. Hi.
Okay, so regarding certifications, I think you mentioned one is CSA. Can you
Yeah.
remind me of the other one? I think you
Scrum
mentioned like
Master.
$50 something.
Scrum. It's a Scrum Master certification.
Okay, thank you.
To support the BA role, we need
Right.
a Scrum Master support our knowledge in ServiceNow. We have to take the ServiceNow Administrator certification, CSA.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So these are the two certifications we needed, and it is must. And your preparation towards your resume, your project will all start only after you complete your certification. Okay, so that's what it is. Market is big enough for all of us. So, but it is up to you to make a decision, and we are excited if you're coming on board. Thank you for the people who have already joined, and please make sure to go through the recordings one more time when you're free and take notes. Self study is very, very important to get ready. So you need to slow down whatever you're doing and study with us for the next 2.5 to 3 months, and you got yourself career for the next 10 to 15 years. Okay. So with that, I'll close this session today. You will have our team members calling you, setting up callbacks for me, and I'll engaging with you, and I'll give you all the information, and I'll get you started. Okay. And thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. See you guys back on Monday. Have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
Nishant.
Bye bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sudesh.
Thank you.
Guys, have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Nishant.
Have a good night.
Everybody. Thank you. Good night.